Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will be with you shortly. Spare you all the music. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is in the world you're coming to us from. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. It is December 4th, 2024. It is almost Christmas time. What's the best present for Christmas time? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome charts from Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Pedro, what's happening?
What up, my people? How you guys doing? Hey, hope everybody's doing well today. We've had a pretty crazy situation with these markets, and it has been a blast. So, yeah, baby,
Pedro, I've made it back to Ottawa. I've got the temporary studio still going because I literally walked into the door right before getting started here. In the past few days here, I've driven from Chicago to Winter Park, Colorado, all night.
Which is about 1,000 miles, right?
Yeah, 1,100.
Yep.
And stayed there for 3 days at altitude at 8,000 to 12,000 feet. There, left striking at there at her summer job, or winter job, I mean. Flew back on a late flight, got back home to Chicago at around, 11 p.m., midnight, somewhere close to that. Next morning, got up, drove to Toronto, another 9 hours. And then this morning, got up, that was yesterday, this morning got up and drove through a snowstorm with Mrs. Striking to come back here to Ottawa. So if I'm not my normal chipper self today, it's because I am wiped out. Wiped out. And, but the markets wait for nobody. They don't care. The markets say, Tom, we don't care if you're wiped out. We don't care what. We're moving on. We're moving. We're grooving. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to those markets today. We're going to get to the markets that put Tom to shame after, I mean, how many years, Pedro, but have I been bad-mouthing Ripple and XRP?
Well, I was for a while bad-mouthing them with you. And then, but once I started seeing volume come in, right, back here, right, I was like, whoa, now. We gotta hold off on that for a minute because that area here, man, was looking, this was showing hotness. And when this popped up right here, right, I said, you can't discount that. That amount of volume is ridiculous. And that's when it hit that 60,000, and that's when our zone was right here, right? Mm. I think our zone was right here. And I said, don't discount this. This is a big deal. That amount of volume coming in at those levels right here. I said, look, this thing's getting ready to boom. Like I said, right now, be buying. But again, I still sided with you where I said, like, yeah, it's going. It might break out, might not, but but once we saw this movement here, I said, nah, this thing, it's getting ready to go. And sure enough, our biggest play around this period in time, we were looking at XLM. We were talking about XLM, and it kind of threw everything off. And give me 1 second here.
I faded XLM too.
Yeah, you did.
This is the time when I badmouth these guys left and right, not because of the XRP ledger system or anything like that. Apparently, it's a good technology. I badmouth them because Ripple's funding their operations by selling XRP and to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars all the time. And so, apparently my limited third grade math mind here, I thought that selling pressure was just too much. Well, smartly, what Ripple did is when they saw it starting, the buy pressure starting, they stopped selling. And it was simple as that. They just stopped selling, and the buy pressure built up and went boom. People have been waiting years to sell that stuff, stepped in the market, took the sell side, and that was that. And 5x, same thing with Stellar, 5x. Which one do you have up there now, Stellar or XRP?
Yeah, this is Stella. Stella! Yeah, man. I see it potentially pull back to a couple areas here. But even then, man, I mean, now that we know it's out of the cat's out of the bag here and it wants to run, pullbacks are only going to be areas for them to buy in at. So I like Stella sitting at this level here, the sideways pattern. And let me go ahead and pull this higher. Wait. And sweet. It's been going to drive you nuts, guys. Strawberry wine. It's sweet, baby.
Oh.
It is.
See, who we got here in the house here?
Some brandy.
Here. Troublesome Creek in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Troublesome Creek. He's just strumming along on his guitar.
All the time. All right, guys.
Just you at the beginning, but Carmen Crypto says, "Good morning, Chumbalones. It is good afternoon. Good morning, Carmen Crypto. Space Cat in the house, listening to us from the gym. Just put your hands up and cheer with your AirPods in every time you hear the Space Cat get mentioned."
So let me jump in real quick. So let's talk about the next thing. The media giant Meta, which was previously known as Facebook, changed their name to Meta, because they were trying to do stuff. We talked about a lot of these metaverses about a month ago. No, about 3 to 4 weeks ago, back in the middle of November, if not the beginning. And then I said, guys, we're seeing volume coming in right here, right? And you were like, really? And I said, yeah, man, I'm telling you, this is breaking out right here. It was this little spot. It looked like this.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
And I said, look, volume stepping in. It's abnormally bigger. And the fact that we're in a bull run, I'm looking to take part in this. So at the time, I bought a little bit of mana, right? And sand, right? For Sandbox. Yeah. And I said, all right, guys, these are these plays that we're looking to get. And I said, potentially, we could see this. Oh, by the way, I had to reset my a lot of my lines because a lot of things actually got messed up. So I unfortunately, so I'm gonna give you guys heads up. So this area here, we were talking about buying in, it's trying to show some strength. So again, look, these are really important things to look. You can see it's following that 8-period moving average. Now, granted, we are seeing the volume.
Just stop selling, and the buy pressure. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. So we're seeing it now starting to pick up. Now, hopefully, you guys got in right here at the 32-cent area, 30-cent area that we were talking about here, right? But if not, we're seeing volume step down a little, so we very much could see it have a pullback down to that 50-cent area here. And then see again, take off again. So just giving you guys heads up so you know what to look for if we start to see a pullback on mana.
Carmen, I did not see the new appointment for Pedro. Did you say Meta or Mana? Or did you go from one to the other?
No, I used Meta as an example, as in like the Meta is, I use the word meta because talking about Facebook, how they were putting a lot of money into metaverses. And then I said, but from a crypto standpoint, right? I said that was more of a leeway of like, okay, here, remember this is still a big deal. They didn't change the name back to Facebook. It's still Meta, right? Like, It's still there. Like, this is important to understand. They didn't change anything. I just think they kind of put a pause and said, we need to wait because the next bull run, we'll see it again. And you can see this right here. Whereas we can still play. Right now, we can't buy Facebook coin. I wish we could. Right? That would be dope. Where I could buy Meta coin and be like, dope. Let's see that thing. And then take part in literally almost maybe stock options type of thing. Watch as I'm speaking about it this week. They actually do it.
Boom.
All right. So I like this big push up, but look, we're seeing a lack of volume for the big push. So I'm expecting maybe a potential pullback, but this is one of those things that I like that I'm looking at again for a pullback level. Let's talk about sand blue as always. We talk about, right? So another good example of hitting supply, coming back to the moving averages, right? And then pushing past where we have resistance. So I'm gonna remove this. And our next spot is the dollar. Hopefully you guys got in with sand at 22 cents, 24 cents when we talked about this play, right? And just basically get in at this level. If you're already 5x where you're sitting at, right? Which isn't bad, right? Again, I think we very much could see this get very much back up at that $10, $8 mark level.
Wow.
Right. So after the 205 area, it's a clean shot all the way back up. So, I'm hoping you guys got in at these levels here. All the time. You're a smooth. Sorry. Tennessee whiskey.
Hey, Pedro, I've missed your sweet, not tenor, but in between tenor and bass is kind of your voice. I don't know, there's another name for that. I've missed you crooning in my ear. We'll just say that. Although Pedro's crooning is mostly beatboxing it. Tried to lead you right into that one.
It is, right. I forgot. As soon as that come on, it would echo throughout your whole entire place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So one of the things also, let's go over Bitcoin here real quick as we're chilling. All right. So Bitcoin actually yesterday, with a lot of the crazy news that was happening yesterday, two things I did expect. I expected to see with what was happening with South Korea to actually mess with gold. And gold didn't do jack. I was like, what? We talked about it yesterday. I was like, why isn't gold doing anything? I actually put a little play and expecting it, and just kind of went sideways. So I got out. I was like, whatever. No, this isn't working. But what was interesting is we saw a sell-off in Bitcoin. And I was like, really? Wait,
which chart you got up there? Do you have gold or Bitcoin up?
Oh, this is Bitcoin here. This is Bitcoin. Sorry about that.
Logo up, BTC. Yeah, it's doing its thing. It's consolidating, and then the alts are booming while it's doing that.
Yeah. You're seeing money kind of chill here. Money's just kind of chilling here, kind of consolidating, and now we're going to see. I potentially think we could see this drop back down to 90,000, which would be a good area for us to buy in at, right? Put like $100 in, $50. I think we can get it to 210, or not 210. Excuse me.
210.
Not this time.
Baby. We're going 50x leverage long on that one.
Let's do it. But it very much could. I think we could see a potential 20% push up to 110, right? In the next leg up, 110, if not potentially even 120, right? Because I need to account for this move from here up. Let's move, which would be about right here at this level. So, yeah, or still back, or still here. So it all depends on where it wants to find its balance, its leg down to go back up. We'll see what's up. So, okay, check out Ethereum. Ethereum, all places, it finally started breaking out here. We were playing along at our demand zone here we talked about, right? Finally broke out, but we didn't really see a ton of volume until really this past, as we were coming down, as we were kind of rallying up here, we started seeing pickup in volume, even though we didn't see the candle explode, which is always an indication of literally they're putting in their bets, but they're meeting orders, and then they wait for the sell-off because people are like, what's happening? And then they, they'll sell off their position, and boom. It's kind of like what I did with gold, right? So it's that same idea of like, all right, well, I'm expecting this to go, so I sell my positions, and the institutions take the other side, and then they push it up. So you can see this is an exact thing they did. Now, this is important to pay attention to. We're through this area. So the next level is all-time high at 40 or 43.55 area to that 47.83 area. So there's nothing. We pushed through this area. There's nothing else besides the all-time high up here. So this again could get going again. So I'm gonna remove this right here. And we'll see what happens. If it does pull back, look for the weekly pullback too. And that's where you're looking for to catch maybe that pullback too. For next week, you might end here, pull back, and then go back up. So it'll be fun. It will be fun.
Welcome to the show, Shireen Spurgis. Thank you for
What's up?
Spurgis clan showing up. Appreciate it. Carmen, I just saw the note that billionaire Jared, who went into space, basically bought a SpaceX launch for him and some friends to go into orbit, and he did a spacewalk. And now he's going to be nominated to run NASA.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Carmen just got lucky with her XLM. Forgot about that. Pedro, let me tell you, I'm going to give you a little bit of good news on that note. A while ago, about, I don't know, maybe a year ago or more, I had some Solana, and I mistakenly sent it to my Robinhood account. And Robinhood at the time didn't support Solana, but it supported the Solana chain. You could send Solana Matic, you could send Solana USDT, you could send Solana.
You bought it at 81 cents? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
And I was like, oh, I sent it to the wrong place. And from the blockchain, I could see it was in the Ethereum address or not the Ethereum address, the Solana address that I've sent Solana USDT to, and it was there. It's there. And so I contacted Robinhood and I said, look, I sent it there, but it's in the address that you guys control. Can you send it back to me? They're like, sorry, we can't do anything. You sent to the wrong place. It's gone forever. I'm like, no, it's not gone forever. It's in that wallet that things are going in and out of right now. And they said, there's nothing we can do. And I tried for weeks. It was about $200 worth of, or $300 worth of Solana. I was like, oh. Well, as soon as Robinhood started supporting Solana last week, all of a sudden I looked in my thing and I was like, hey, there it is. I was like, woohoo! It showed up. It was like a free present from the past. And we've seen like Binance and stuff, groups like that actually not refund, but find a way to get it back to people after a long time. But Robinhood just turned on Solana and it was like, boop, and it was there. And I was like, yes. Gore one.
It's always amazing. It's awesome. That's freaking awesome. And that means you got into it around here when it was sitting at the low level of $28.
No, I didn't buy it then. Yeah, I guess I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what I sent there, I sent $40 or $50 worth, and it turned into 300 or whatever that ratio is.
Yeah. That's
Plutobolic, what's up, guys? Did you see XCN and Swift went crazy this morning? I don't know what those are.
Oh, let's check them out. Let's check them out here. Alrighty, Plutobolic. What's up, brother? It's good to see you. Hey, guys.
Carmen, really? Jared Isaacman is the CEO of Shift4, where Carmen's significant other works. And it's Elon's buddy. Ugh. This is a good indicator that Elon has some influence on these picks. Gee, you think? That's amazing. Where's your boss? He's off running NASA. Oh, okay. Right.
But here's the thing. I think NASA will finally start to be profitable.
Yeah, right. They don't need to be profitable. They just got to set the research, develop new technologies, let industry handle it from then on. That's all they need to do. Ka-ching, welcome to the show. Ka-ching, thanks for joining us once again. Appreciate it. Oliver in the house. News about SEC chairman? Ooh, I didn't see anything about that. I've been out for 3 days. Well, I've not been out. I've just been not paying to the news at all. I came back to Trump threatening to turn Iran into glass like Reagan did. And
that was crazy.
It was nothing but awesome. That's what that is. We've been saying for years, the problem isn't Hezbollah or Hamas or Syria and all this stuff. The problem is Iran. Let's admit it and take care of business over there. And Trump did. He's like, we all know who's doing this. These a bunch of guys running, because people are all over the internet saying, oh, you can't bomb Gaza. There's nothing left. The Israelis already killed all the children there and all this type of stuff. Trump was not addressing Hamas when he said that. He was addressing the leaders of Iran. And he basically told them, if those hostages aren't out by December or January 20th, you guys are dead. And I hope they take him seriously. I really do hope they take him seriously.
My question is, do you think that they will? Do you think that they will? Because
those guys are really interested in that saving face bullshit diplomacy, where you have to look good in front of your people and all that, when really they should be cutting their losses and running like crazy. And so, oops, I still got the Ethereum. And so I think they're gonna struggle with it for a while. They're gonna struggle with it, and then try the behind the scenes negotiations and all that type of stuff. And then suddenly Trump's gonna announce. Just like Reagan, when Reagan was being inaugurated, the Iranians put the guys on the plane, and it took off, and everyone said, "Oh, Jimmy Carter did it. They did the Algerian Accords or whatever they were." But it was Reagan behind the scenes just saying, "Look, I'm not going to be dealing with you guys negotiating. I'm going to fucking bomb your country unless you let them go. And by the way, I'll give you a whole bunch of arms on the side if you want." The scandal then erupted as a result of that. But that's how you get hostages out. And I think Trump coming in with the big hammer. And that's did I talk about this yesterday? That's what his book, The Art of the Deal, is.
No.
All this stuff that's going on in the news, and all of you should pay attention to this because it's important. Everyone's out there going, "Oh my God, Trump's saying this and Trump's saying that." Trump is following the playbook. He wrote a book, or had someone write it, called The Art of the Deal. And it talks about how you go into a negotiation. His strategy is go into a negotiation heavy and be prepared to walk away. Don't care about saving face or anything like that. Just go in and say, I got to have it my way or else. And that strategy works for him. Doesn't work for other people, but that's what works for him and his negotiating style. And he's doing it. He's following the playbook. If anyone just read his book, Art of the Deal, you would see that, oh, that's what he does. He goes in demanding all this kind of stuff. He demands 100%, but really he wants like 70%. And the other people come back at 30%. And then they end up in the middle of there. But that's where Trump wanted in the first place. He came in hard, but you got to be prepared to walk away and say no. So that's what he's doing. And so, in other words, the Iranians, they better be released, or else he comes out and says. But really, behind the scenes, there's probably a negotiation going on to make the thing just go away, and that type of stuff. And then Trump goes, "Look, I didn't have to fire a shot. Look, I'm a hero." So that's what I think's going on there.
I think what I find interesting is that the fallen angel just demands our soul. So he doesn't come and say hi. He doesn't say what's up. He just is like, I demand your soul. At least give me a good morning or something before you decide to take my soul, my friend. So, but yeah, man, it's kind of crazy what we're seeing with Trump. He's Dude, he's basically, it's his last term, and he's just like, I'm not playing. Like this is how it's going to be, and the fact that he's got everybody. Here's it. He just doesn't got a Republican Congress or a Republican Senate judicial system. He's got a MAGA, right? It's his key word, right? He's got a MAGA Senate, a MAGA like House, which means that like they're gonna do what he says. Whereas the last time he was dealing with what's his name, Speaker of the House guy, was going back and forth with them and fighting, and you saw these things happening where it was just like, okay, well now it's like he's just and here's the thing, the people of the United States pushed this, and this is, and remember I told you before the election, we talked about this, where like in many places where I live, right in the ghettos, I saw equal amount of Trump signs as I saw with Kamala signs, right? And black and brown neighborhoods. And I just thought that was so interesting. But I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping, right? But I was shocked. So it's like, it's clear. There's nobody going to be sitting there going, no, we didn't vote this. It was a lie. This was, it's pretty blatant everywhere. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Trump really handles crypto. I think if he handles this well, which I think he will, it's going to draw in so much money into the United States. I know multiple European protocols that are looking to come over into the United States. Like they're trying. They're actually headed to Washington to talk with people when they get elected, or when come January 20th, January 30th, in between that time period, so they can really interact with the new Congress and saying, hey, look, we're over in Europe. We want to come over to you because what you're doing, because honestly, we're getting taxed and killed over here, and we're getting our wings clipped, right? And we're only allowing to be able to fly in the house. And I think this government is going to sit there and say, yeah, okay, cool. Come on over. We'll bring you in. We'll let you domicile here. And then boom.
Well, just think about this. Let's go back. Let's go to the great time machine. When we've gone back 3 months. Europe introduced this year MiCA. And as of right now, Europe is... Well, hold on, let's go back before that. Europe, Switzerland, and the EU together were actually booming because of their
legislation.
The SEC breathing down their neck. The U.S. was suffering like crazy because of enforcement by regulation instead of coming up with a fair playing field for everybody. And so it was kind of an odd time. We're like, wow, this is weird, driving business out of the U.S. and going to Europe, and Patrick McHenry famously said, Europe is where innovation goes to die. But it was moving over there. Now, Europe introduces MiCA, which everyone was like, it's not that bad. It's not a big deal. But right now, Europe is delisting stable coins, including Tether, from crypto exchanges. Mm-hmm. There's only a few things left in Europe that are actually legal to trade. And everyone's like, well, meme coins don't count. They all count. You guys are going to get screwed. And people are like, we got to figure out a way to leave Europe. And all of a sudden in the US, it's like, ta-da! Welcome back, everybody. Times have changed.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Right.
Welcome
back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
You guys don't know the show Welcome Back Cotter. Mr. Cotter.
So
excellent show. But it's a big change. And here, thanks to Oliver, I guess it was, that brought it up, Trump plans to nominate Paul Akins as the SEC chair in a crypto-friendly move, he says. President-elect Donald Trump, keeping with his promise for a crypto-friendly administration, plans to nominate former SEC commissioner, he was a former SEC commissioner, Paul Atkins, to head the agency. Currently, he's the CEO at blah, blah, blah. He's a well-known veteran in Republican political circles, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. We don't need to go into that. He's crypto friendly, rich dude, and is formerly served in the SEC. You know who he served with? He has served with Patrick Dougherty.
Really?
Yes, he was in. Oh no, I'm getting the decades wrong.
Oh, I was like, dude, let's see if we can get him to come on.
Right, that's what I was thinking as I was looking.
I was just like, bro,
because Patrick served in the SEC from 2 to 8, but it was 1982 to 1988.
Oh yeah,
under Reagan, and I saw 2 to 08. Atkins served from 02 to 08. 20 years difference.
Yeah, a full-on decade. I mean, a full-on generation difference.
Yeah, so it's a good. This is a good thing here, and I bet you he just says we're done with crypto. We're done with crypto. We'll let Congress figure out how to regulate it, and come up with that. They're talking about creating just even a separate agency, which I disagree with. They should merge all the different regulatory bodies into one. Like the UK, they have the. I'm escaping it, but they did that a while ago. They had a bunch of different ones, merged them into one, got rid of duplicate things, have common filing things, all this type of stuff. Have the regulations for exchanges, regulation for securities, all this type of stuff. But
wait, they're saying something about your volume. Velasquez Jeroboam. Oh, it's like the Bible guy. Velasquez Jeroboam. ¿Qué pasa? He says crickets turn his volume up. Mine or is it yours? What's up, Chris? What's going on?
Why did you guys tell me about my volume earlier? I've been talking now for 40 minutes.
BSC in the house. What's up, BSC? Good to have you.
Vasquez, let me know if it's better. I turned my gain up on my mic.
Definitely. And then also shout out to Tom's Prob. That's Tom's issue. Yeah, you're too quiet, my friend. Good morning, Tom and Pedro. Good to see you, Mr. Lucifer Fallen Angel. Hope you're doing well down there. It's cold over here where I'm at, so it'd be nice to bring a little heat up here. I appreciate that.
Pedro, did you see this story develop today? United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson fatally shot in New York in targeted attack. For those of you that are not American, United Healthcare is either the first or second largest insurance company in the United States. It's a massive company.
I would arguably say they are the most powerful company in America.
And their CEO was murdered coming out of a breakfast meeting this morning in New York. He lives in Minneapolis, where United Healthcare is based, and he was in New York for an investor meeting. And as he walked out the door, a man came up and shot him twice, once in the chest and once in the leg, and then sped off on an electric bike. And it was obviously a targeted attack. And at first, people are running around like, "Oh my gosh, New York's not safe," this type of stuff. The guy, waited for him, and the guy came out and he shot him. Undoubtedly, a revenge killing because United Healthcare probably. I'm guessing it's my bet the shooter has some relative, a kid, or a mom, or a spouse that was having insurance problems, and they died. And he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to take it out on you." Because if you recall my past life, when I used to sell armored vehicles, manufacture and sell armored vehicles, a lot of them weren't. I built a lot for governments, but I built a lot for Fortune 500 CEOs because they had all kinds of threats. They have stalkers, they have disgruntled employees, they have pissed off customers, all this type of stuff. And when the mortgage crisis in 2008 hit, a lot of people lost money on bad investments. And a lot of those people were kind of like every wealthy family has that one strange kid that dad's like, I just got to give some money to that kid because he's just weird. He's never going to work or something like that. Usually he had too much drugs as a kid. And a lot of those people, their money was in, mortgage-backed securities in their trust funds and stuff like that. And they lost massive amounts of money, basically their support. And those guys started showing up at the houses of the CEOs of JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. I can't remember the other one. And I sold bulletproof cars to all those guys. When the family gets threatened and the CEO gets threatened, the budget just turns right on. It's so amazing. But I'm guessing the guy here, he's only 50 years old. He's or was 50 years old, that he was he's seemingly traveling by himself. I mean, he runs a multi-$100 billion operation, and someone was able to just walk up and shoot him. And I participated in these executive protection training programs all the time. I went through them. I can see it when it's happening and that kind of stuff. And it doesn't seem like this guy had either any security or serious security at all. And if you're on a board of these big companies and your CEO gets murdered, I mean, their shares dropped immediately to the tune of many billions of dollars. Think of that. Just never mind the guy's life, which is awful, and the awful things that his family's going through right now.
Man, it breaks my heart.
The board has these companies don't realize that they have a responsibility to their shareholders to ensure that if their CEO goes down, either in the company jet or by a bullet or a car accident, that investments are still fine. So I found it very strange in my eyeball here on the situation that he didn't have security that was ready for something like that. Just awful. Just awful when it happens. And it happens much more than you think. Most of the time it isn't public. Oh, anyway, let's get back to the markets, Pedro.
Definitely. I think one of the things we can actually be paying attention to
Crypto
is
Mike, welcome to the house. Pedro, give me 1 second to recognize a couple people.
Absolutely.
Lucifer, the Fallen Angel, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Chris, what's going on? DYOR, Doge, BSC in the house. Let's see. Oh, gosh, I missed a bunch. That's Chris again. Lucifer, the prolific poster once again. All good, Pedro Damas. I need me one, Tom. You got to be laying around here in the backyard. You sold me. Whoops, sorry, didn't stop the bullets. Lemon law. That's what people always ask me. They're like, what's the warranty on this? I'm like, well, if the car doesn't work and the bullets come through the armor, just bring it back for a full refund. And then they sit and think about it and they're like, but I'd be dead. I'm like, you got it. And they looked at me. I'm like, I said, that's the joke I use all the time.
That's good.
Charles Roman in the house. Thanks you for joining us, Charles. I really appreciate it. For those of you watching on Rumble, we haven't been leaving you out. We're using StreamYard today instead of the broadcast studio, so I don't have access to your comments over there, so I can't put them on the screen. But that's not to say I'm not paying attention. Welcome, Dr. Fire Chicken over there. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. And to everyone on the Rumble crew there, it says that we have 8 people watching it, which is good. And 4 likes. So if you haven't clicked like yet over there, thanks to everyone on X for watching us. We really appreciate it. Steve Rodrigue watching us on X. Thank you very much.
Hey, what's up, brother? It's good to see you.
And since we're using StreamYard, I can't grab the comments from X.
What's cool about it, Steve is a rock star in AI. We know that he is. We had him on a couple weeks ago, and we're going to. So I reached out to Larry, and Larry's going to do some quick due diligence. He's got a pretty big network of AI people, so I'm really looking forward to us kind of getting together on Saturday morning, because I also host and help with Larry's space on Saturday morning, and so he's got a few people over there. So yeah, it's going to be fun because, well, I think having legit DAO come in there and help support Mr. Rodriguez and everything that correlates with it, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be good. So I'm looking forward to it.
Let's see. Lunar Pump Fun on Finian blockchain coming. Lunar
I like it.
Pump Fun. You have to explain that one more. Gonna have to explain that one more. Carmen, I'm still getting over the news. Oh, my boss. Your significant other comes in the room. How's your day, honey? Pretty good. My boss got nominated to be the director of NASA. I mean, regardless of what's going on with NASA cool. and SpaceX kind of taking the lead on these things, NASA does some really cool shit. I mean, they do cool stuff, even if they start contracting out all the rocketry and all that to other people. I mean, if you think about it, they just launched, Elon just launched, because NASA paid him to, a satellite to go explore the moon Europa around around Jupiter. And this is the meeting. It was this thing was supposed to be launched on Boeing's SLS rocket, the giant, massive rocket that it's not as big as SpaceX's rocket, but it's more powerful. No, I take that back. It's more powerful than their super heavy, but not as powerful as Star. Whatever. Anyway, that thing is way behind schedule, and Boeing's having all sorts of trouble. And they're like, oh, man, the launch window is only so much before that thing gets too far away, and we have to redesign everything. Let's call Elon. They call Elon, get some of his engineers around the table. It's like, can you, take the satellite for us that Boeing can't launch and send it to Jupiter? Hold on a sec.
Already done.
Yeah, we can use the super heavy rocket, and because that rocket's not as powerful, it's going to take longer for it to get there. It's going to be 6 years instead of 4. And they're like, it's a little long. What else can you do? Hold on a sec. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to launch it. We're going to launch it the wrong direction, though. And we're going to launch it towards Venus. And we're going to loop it around Venus and do a gravity assist flyby. And then it's going to come over to Mars, zoom over there, come back towards Earth, and it's going to be going triple the speed by now. And we can get it closer to 4 years instead of... And they're like, okay, here's $100 million to go launch it. Okay. And 6 months later, the thing's like... And it's like, imagine being in that meeting. Hey, guys, what do you want to do? Let's just go around Venus, hit up Mars, bring it back around Earth, and then it'll be there in 4 years instead of 6. Oh, okay. Sounds good. I mean, that's innovation. I mean, that's to be able to do that. I was having that discussion with my son. I said, that's why you're an aerospace and astro engineer and a rocket scientist, so you can do cool shit like that. And then there's all these I'll just use the word, these pussies here in the U.S. that you're like, oh, Elon bad. I'm like, oh yeah, can you send your own car into a heliocentric orbit? He launched his own car into orbit around the sun. Not just around the Earth, like Virgin Galactic or something like that, that you only have to go 100 miles to be in Earth orbit. 17,000 miles an hour. To go into orbit around the sun! I can't even explain the difference in physics there. It's just... Oh, let's get back to the comments here. I love it, too. I can talk that stuff all day.
I think it's the dopest stuff in the world, man. By the way, I kind of want to bring this up, too, just so you know. So I've been looking at Axios.
Axios?
Yes, Axios Infinity. We've got a lot of stuff going. So we talked about it coming down. I honestly thought it was going to come down to the 200. We did not, which I'm really sad about it. But remember, it at its peak, I think it was ranging over 100. It was like $166, right? So right now it's in about $9. I picked up a little, not like, I think it was like 20. Actually, no. It was like $50, 50 or $60 at $5 here. When it came back down, we talked about here, right? Pushed up, came back down. And we talked about it a little bit. I think we talked about it back here as it was coming down. But it's starting to find a pump. There's a lot of new gaming stuff that's actually happening in crypto. A lot of stuff that's actually happening there. And I think what's important is that, look, you may not be able to put like a ton of money into it, but remember crypto, you can just put money into it and you can buy basically micro shares, right? Micro pieces of the coin. And so putting some money into Axios, as they start to really develop a bunch of things that correlate into gaming, apart from insurance, the next thing that everybody uses around the world is gaming.
Right.
And so,
hey, just hold on. I got to stop here 1 second, Pedro. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to everyone watching us on YouTube. Our numbers just blossomed over there. You're watching DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, also known as Striking here in the digital media world. The guy in the box above me here is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst for the show and trading extraordinaire. And we do a daily crypto talk show. I should say digital asset industry talk show about news and everything going on, from meme coins to the SEC and that type of stuff. And so thank you to everyone that's joined us. We really appreciate it. And when YouTube puts us in the algorithm, we really appreciate it. All of a sudden, we have 300 views, Pedro.
Well, I want to say to everybody there, guys, look, thank you for coming in. Please hit that like, subscribe button, and share button, right? We go over real trading so you guys can make real money, okay? And also, we also go over a lot of stuff in relationship to news, up-to-date stuff. And here's the key. We talk about things that Google doesn't like, right? But we feel like it's important for you guys to get that information. So by you guys hitting that like and subscribe button, and we go live every day. We interact with every one of our people. We know our people. And so what up, Chuck? What up, Doc?
Welcome to the house, Kevin Martinez. Thanks for subscribing and commenting. For all the rest of you out there, give that subscribe button a shot and drop a comment. We'd really appreciate it.
And notification. 30 people on YouTube right now and 10 on Rumble. Again, we're growing dramatically, but we're almost like we're like a big, small community. And so you can see in our, in our comment section, we actually have a Telegram account. Go in there, click. If you want to ask me questions or me and Tom questions, we're there. But we want to be able to connect with you guys and also, more importantly, build a real community. And said that we're not botted. We could have made a long time ago botted our system, make us look good, but we want authentic, real connections with our viewers. And that's important to us. So yeah, thanks for coming in today, guys. Really appreciate you. And gently message that fire chicken, subscribe, and like button as well. Doc. Also, Doc is
ever shilling fire chicken.
He's legitimately a doctor here, so thanks, Charles. Thank you, man. Wow, are we still at that level of 300
views, not concurrently?
Oh, okay. Well, we're glad you guys watched us and are coming and looking at us. Something we did right. So, but we do have 33 watching now, so which is dope. We really appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you so much. Now let's go over here real quick with Axiom, just simply because right now sitting at 9. I can see it's coming back down one more time to tap that 8 period at that 850 before it makes that next leg up, which is going to be that 1390 to that 1368 area. This will probably be, like I said, this is really important to pay attention to as the market is pushing up, right? What's important to pay attention to is, one, the volume coming in, right? You can see as we're pushing up, we're seeing volume kind of slow down, but it's still pushing up. So when we come back and we test that resistance, it will come back to the trending mechanism or indicator that you use. I personally use an 8-period moving average. So you can catch the pullback when we come back and hit this on a daily pullback, or you can go through and wait for the resistance where we have a potential pullback, a major pullback. So I think because of where we're sitting right now, right, we could potentially hit this area right here where we go up and come back down. This act as an actual position for us to play off of as it pulls back. But ultimately, I'm seeing Axi Infinity really get going and find new all-time highs and get going. And I do think we're going to touch the new all-time highs with this, because a lot of this is stuff that is happening within their organization and what they're doing. So yeah, that's it for that. And again, I think their high here was 166. I think we could see a potential 300 Axi Infinity as we sit there and get going again. Yeah, and then come back down. We'll see it at 100, and we know, like, we understand what actually happens with this stuff, right? So make sure you guys are paying attention and looking into this stuff.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Bro, that was so good. Oh, dude, that was so good, bro.
It was right there for the taking.
It was so good. 166. I'm gonna go.
Do not come. Do not come.
Out here, baby.
I'm gonna come.
Why can't I hear it?
Oh, you're killing me, Small. That's good. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we'll.
Time to power it up, Pedro here.
All right. I love it. I love it. Also, another one that people were liking here, real quick. Oh, do you got another show, or do you got another article? Please.
No, I was just looking at. I was reading the space.com article about Jared Isaacman. It's funny, he founded Shift for Payments as a billionaire. I've never even heard of Shift for Payments, and even though I've met Carmen and Brian, I don't know anything. I just don't. How many payment companies can there be? I don't understand why there needs to be so many. But congrats to him. congrats to Brian's boss for that. Where is that other article that I had up here? I had another CNBC article.
While you're finding that, let's check out something here real quick. And I think it's really important. Also pay attention to Matic. Now, remember we talked about this, right? When it was down in here at these lower levels, right? That we were seeing certain aspects behind the market. As we pushed up here, right? We hit our lower level here, which was that 28 cent mark. And I was telling our guys, it potentially could come down to that 17 cent, but this area right here, I said, this is a good area to buy. I'm really bullish at this level here. And so I said, this is where we were going to be picking up. And I remember you're like, Tom was like, man, I hope we do. I go, dude, we are. This should be that bottom that we'll sit there and see on this level here. I said, the way that the market moved, right? We came down. As we came down, we went up, and you saw the volume step in. Then I said, you want to wait for that pullback into our area here, which we saw, and then we saw big. And I said, we want to see volume pick up, and that's what we were watching happening. So that is exciting. So hopefully many of you guys also picked up Matic at that level. And so let's check out where it potentially could go. We're hitting a resistance level. Okay, so I'm expecting to see it get to the next level, right up at that 129 area here. And we should, again, this should act as a form of resistance, but it will not act as a form of supply where we'll have a strong push down. We'll fight through this area, but it's not gonna push. So we'll come down, we'll push up here, come back down, and boom. And we'll probably fight through this, come through. This is how the bull market works, right? Resistance, or areas that are potential supply, becomes more or less resistant areas where we find the market come back down, hit an area of trending, whatever trending indicator you have, and then we see a push up. So I like this. A Matic is looking hot to trot. Check out Matic here, and get ready for a pullback here, potentially back down to our 8-period moving average, which is sitting roughly around.
Well, Pedro, I've been poo-pooing Matic for a while because I had big exposure to it, not because of anything other than that, and it was more of despair. But if the volume stays up there, usually I can point at the screen, but not on the StreamYard version. It could push through that zone that it's bumping
absolutely
into right now.
It's already pushing through it. The fact that we did not end red, we hit this, we came down, it stayed green. We have a 400-period moving average where it pretty much just blew through. Now we're watching it push up. So it's just, if it does come back down, it's coming back down to that 63 cent area where we'll then see the next push up. We're going to cut through this. And then we're going to push back up because the money's going into the other altcoins, right? And as these start to push up, we see it. So I'm expecting that 129 at least, right? I'm really expecting to see it come back up to the 218 at least, right? Until we see maybe some major pullback where it'll consolidate and then push back up again. I think we're going to see a potential $6 Matic, right?
Woo!
$6, $8 Matic.
Ouch! That'll warm the old man's heart here, man. That make a lot of problems go away, and would be a nice Christmas.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna happen by Christmas.
And from
I'm talking
from
probably
the from the back, Mrs. Striking's like, hell yeah.
Well,
all right, ladies and
here's
gentlemen,
the
this is a good time to talk about our sponsor here, BidFi, best crypto demo trading. If you want to learn about crypto, you should come watch our show more often, because Pedro and I, believe it or not, there are a lot of you that don't know what going long and short means. Pedro and I want to teach you, and you do that with our sponsor's crypto trading platform, BidFi. If you join up with them with our link that's in the body of the description, however you're watching this, you can claim up to, this is actually an outdated graphic. The rewards are even more now. But if you join up and deposit $100 US or a USDT, they will give you 100 USDT to trade for, doubling up your ability to trade. That doesn't mean you need to use leverage. What we want you to do is learn as we go along with you too. So you can go long and short without any, 10x and risking losing a large percentage of your money. You can go in and just play the market and learn about it. Because as we know here, we are an edutainment channel. We're not a strictly trading channel and not strictly a lecturing channel.
Are you not entertained?
And starting next year, once the new administration gets fully seated, we're going to be doing a little bit different take on what we've been doing in the past at the trading. And Pedro and I are going to, wait, hold on. We are going to power it up, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're going to do that via BidFi and our exchange. And those of you that want to participate in our examples and potentially even to win merch and other types of stuff like that need to be using it. So use this, the link in the bottom. Normally I have a QR code, but it's outdated on this old version of StreamYard that I'm using right now. So if you want to get ready for next year, Pedro and I will come out with more details on that later. But it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different than Crypto Lifer and all these guys. We're going to play a little different take on it. Less degenning, more building wealth type stuff. Although I shouldn't say Crypto Lifer's degenning.
He's very much. I love his style. I've watched him. I do too. I will. Good. Ours is going to be similar to his, but I think I'm going to offer a lot more trades in a sense, right? I'm going to give you guys options to which ones to trade and what to look at, and potentially as we really start to move here, right? Like I'm a huge proponent in. All right, if we have $100, okay, as the market is moving one way, it's good to have other options, right? Versus, like let's say you just trade Bitcoin. Bitcoin
Sorry. I didn't mean to hit the Mario.
That was totally epic, dude. I was just like, I went squirrel, like
trading.
Oh, dude, there we go. What? Bro, oh, you got me killing. Oh shoot, Mr. Jensen again. Doc in the house has dropped. Did you see it? Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear?
Thank you, Chuck Jansen, for this $10 super chat. We really appreciate it. Non-shill message. This one to help the algorithm. We appreciate that all and Tom and Pedro do.
Yeah,
that must mean that Chuck has some super fat bags as a result of watching this show.
Awesome.
Or the fact that he got his Litecoin, that's an inside joke. Miner's up and running again. Anyway, Chuck, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Absolutely. As always, Pedro and I enjoy taking your money off your hands. It's always feels good to
thank you, brother,
to do that.
Really appreciate
and
that,
also the best part about it is it shows the YouTube algorithm or the Rumble algorithm, whichever way you're doing it.
Yeah.
That the viewers know that there is good content coming from here, and they boost us up in the rankings. So thank you very much. Thank you to everyone watching us right now on YouTube. We're an interactive show here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe and drop a comment or two if you want us to go over a chart. We've only got a couple of, I don't know, well, I can go another 15, 20 minutes or so, Pedro. So we have a good crowd here.
Yeah, I also want to go over what's going on with SHIB here real quick. SHIB is showing strength here, and we found some supports. Remember, with Shibaroo, SHIB, Shibarina, Shiba long stocking, Shiba hoo-ha! Everybody knows what that's from. Hoo-ha! Anybody? Is it rolling with anybody? Anybody catching that? Never mind. All right.
Jar Baby says Charles is
Cinnabon.
making us poor folk look bad. We're living
Hey,
we're
y'all.
living under the bridge. Chuck is living in the high house in the sky.
By the river. You forget. By the river.
Down by the river.
And down by the river. I can't fit in this jacket. Can't fit in this jacket. Anyways, okay, enough. Dude, we're two old guys just having a fun time, so good times here. All right, let's check out SHIB. So SHIB hit our area here. We talked about the pullback area, which we did, and I said, all right, guys, we're seeing volume starting to pick up into these levels. Expect to see this baby go up. And sure enough, guys, we blew through this area, and I said, we want to see this area right here act as support as we move up. And you can see that's exactly what's happening here now, okay? That is between that 0.4, that's 4 zeros, 29.40 area to that 28.50 area acting as support. And I expect us to kind of play around maybe for a day or two here, taking in more of the buyers coming in. This is important to understand. As the market is pushing up, that means that sellers are selling to buyers, okay? And when we run out of sellers, the market has to go down to create more sellers so the market can go back up with sellers allowing the buyers to keep buying. It's important to understand this psychology so that when we're trading crypto, because everybody wants to go crazy and buy, right? We go into FOMO mode. And so they have to, so because institutions are now involved, they'll bring the market down, get people to sell off their positions, and then they push it back up. So it's important to be paying attention to that. Really important. I don't want to see you guys get screwed over here and get out as the market's coming down. So make sure you're buying in between these levels here, okay? That's it in a nutshell for that one for SHIB. And again, I expect...
You keep asking about SteamX. I'm sorry that we haven't looked at it. Maybe we have looked at it in the past, but we'll try and get it over right now.
Let's do it right now. Send us the contract and then give it to Tom, and then I'll finish. And I'll let, as Tom is talking here, I just want to finish off this last little bit. Where's the next stopping point that we should see it? And this is where people are getting excited. Okay, look, let's look at it from a long term. This market is now finding support here. Okay, the next one is to hit this high here, find it hit, come down, find support. And this will be, obviously, this is into June or July, but this is going to be much sooner than that. But I'm using it as an example here. And then we'll see this type of move here to the all-time high. There's nothing here sitting in between this area here, nothing. So as the market is going through, we should blow through this area super quick and go up. And this is what we should see. So I know that looks crazy there, but this basically it's gonna.
That was another phallic-shaped chart there, Pedro.
Dude, you and your phallic. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, Willis?
Jesus is going to be all over it here in a second.
I know, right? He'll be over yelling at me. All right. So, anyways, long story short here.
For those of you watching, Crypto Mike here is one of our moderators here on the channel, and he posted a contract address of a project that a number of our viewers are involved in. And it's a legitimate thing. It's not a rug pull or anything like that.
Yeah. All right, boom. So let's check it out. Pump it up. All right, boom. We're gonna go here real quick. Oh, actually, this is not the one that I was looking for to be. Give me 1 second. Cryptocurrency.
We've had 513 people view the show here today, Pedro.
We are so glad we had every one of you guys. I'm really looking forward.
I got it up on the screen here. I very rarely do this, but I put it up on the screen here. And
hey, listen, hit the like, subscribe button, and share button. Please help us out. We're a small community, and we're trying to grow our show, and we're really trying to get it going here. And so we give real information. We talk about real news that are actually happening, and we talk about things that Google doesn't like, right? And so very rarely they actually use us and put us out there in the actual algorithm. So many of you guys that are watching us, please help us out. I'm going to keep bringing you guys good trades, where to get in, where to get out, how to play. Tom is going to be bringing good fundamentals in the market, as well as good news sources, so that we can talk about real issues, right? That most people like, or I wouldn't say like, but need to know about. So that's it in a nutshell. Let's check out this thing here right now. Whoop, whoop. All right, come on. Let's go. And I'm going to have to hit this here real quick. Boom. All right in. And that should work here. Oh.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit. Too legit to quit. Hey. I got a little bit. This was not the one I was. These were not the droids that you were looking for. Anybody knows what that's from?
Lucifer the Fallen Angel pitching Infineon in the blockchain, or if you hold your pinky up, you can say Infineon.
Infineon. Come on, dude.
Mondragon M. Great show. How about AMP and XRP? We went over XRP at the beginning of the show. You can scroll
We'll
back.
do it again.
And I had to eat crow because I poo-pooed XRP for so many years, and they proved me wrong.
I have no problem going over XRP again in just a second. Just give me a minute. Let's check out here because he's wanted us to look at this for a minute. He's our guy. He's one of our faithful guys. And so Fire Chicken, let's check it out. So Fire Chicken, as we can see here, is, I almost want to say it's almost our coin in a sense. It's not our coin, but
Right.
it's our community. And listen,
coin.
we support our community and what they bring to the table and stuff like that. We know Dr. Jansen, and we call him Dr. J here. He's a great guy. He's one of our guys who handles things over on Rumble and stuff for us as well. We started this as a joke, and it has now actually been kind of pumping. It pumped pretty good, and he's the one that's kind of supporting it. So, long story short, it's looking like it's balancing here, man. I mean, in all reality, we're seeing boom. So let's pull this here.
Kaching, I don't know what happened, but the link you sent me wasn't going to load on Pedro's computer, but Pedro did say that contract is available on CoinGecko if you want to. I'll find it and send you the link.
Yeah, send it to me. Y'all know how my skill set is for when it comes to finding projects.
I know, it's the weirdest thing.
So, all right, so we got a few places. You saw here where we bounced off this level here. We saw a little bit of a play here, right, which was nice. The next play here is actually all the way down at the 0.410.225 area to the 0.593.293 area. So these are little areas here for you guys if you're looking to get in on. This will be the area that you want to be looking to get in at this level and then see this baby pump like it's a Fire Chicken. Let's go. All right, Dr. Chuck. Boom. Let's check out another. So we did Matic. Oh, the other one I want to talk about as well is Monero. Where is Mr. Monero? And also X. This is the one that, dude. Oh my lord, dude.
What's Monero XRM XMR?
I think it's X something, but I'll find that in a second. I also want to. Sorry. Side note. This is XYO. So I bought XYO back here. This is one of the first things that actually got me into it and stuff like that. XMR. That's what it is. Thank you. That's what it was. XMR. Thank you, good sir. We'll go over that in just a second. But so XYO, I have, for whatever reason, my Coinbase account won't allow me to buy certain things, right? But I did buy this one. And I bought it down at these levels here, right? And then now I can't log into my Coinbase system. So I've got to call them up and say, hey, look, I can't get in. And this XYO, right? I got in like legitly, like with like $100 at like 0.002. So I'm like, dude, like this baby is pumping like it is hot. Like
welcome Tim Chrisman to the house. Thanks for joining us, Tim Chrisman.
What's up, Tim? It's good to see you, brother. Glad to have you. Chris, if you do us a quick favor, man, hit that like, subscribe, and sub button. We are interactive with our clients, or not our clients, with our
you
community.
go on with the stuff. But
Got it. All right, cool. So this is it in a nutshell. I like this. If you can get in, if you can buy these guys, great. Absolutely. I thought they were a good business. I thought their makeup, what they were doing was good, and they are pumping. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, let's check out Monero here. Mr. Monero, XRXMR. Alrighty then. As you can see, I'm like a fat kid in a candy store over here. Fat kid in a candy store. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, or hey, you guys. Goonies, anybody? Anybody? Remember, whatever happened to the fat kid in Goonies, though?
I don't know. He probably became a millionaire. You know what didn't happen to me last night, Pedro? Last night, I did not become a millionaire. Mrs. Striking and I missed out on the $531 million in the Mega Millions lottery by no, that much. We didn't get any of the numbers even close. We donated our $6 to the let's see, where did I get them? I guess I got them in Indiana to an Indiana State School Fund of some sort.
That's what's up, dude. That's what's up. So what up, Stevie? It's good to see you. Stevie's in the house.
Steve's in the house. He came over from Twitter now, or X. Now he's in the house. Steve Rodrigue, our favorite Quebecer. All the way from just outside Quebec City. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Okay, so let's check out XRM. So we've talked about XRM with
XMR.
So there were some,
XRM?
XMR or Monero being a potential area to be pumping. And this was about 2 weeks ago. So we saw this sell off here, and I said, hey guys, there's some news coming out about Tornado Cash, and there's a lot of good stuff that's allowing them to be able to freely interact within America. We saw that it was unconstitutional what the SEC was doing. They overstepped their boundary, which Tom called, by the way, right? You said sooner or later they're going to get their hand slapped. They're going to get their face like, pow, like get back, because they were overstepping. And so that's what we saw. So back then when that came out, I said a good play is at the time, if you look at the top 100, right? We talked about XMR was one of those plays that's potential. And I talked about us playing this on the futures contract, right? We could sit there and we could play this. And as soon as we start to see, so right here, as we started seeing volume step in, I think was it Monday? No, was it yesterday or the day before when we talked about it? Today's Wednesday. Did we go live Monday?
Yeah, the past couple. Yeah, we did Meme Coin Monday, but I didn't participate much in it because I was on the road.
Yeah, so I think it was Monday that we talked about getting in, but we also talked about this a couple of weeks ago as we was sitting here doing this gym. And so we're now going to start seeing this pick up again here. And so I expect to see Monero pull back probably to this area here.
Finally, Monero getting the love.
Mm-hmm. Well, it takes a minute, right? So
took 4 years.
It happens, eh? You know? So we saw the price come and kick in. So where's it going to pull back? I like to see this 171 to that 166 area as it pulls back to see it go in and go back up. This is going to be a percentage play because I think we can easily see this get to the 264 to the 289 area as it pushes up. Again, this will probably act as just some form of resistance until we pull back to our trending SMA, which is going to be our 8 here on the daily. You can already see that we're starting to play off of it. You can see how it held support here. You see that? Came in, tapped, and pushed off. Went and got orders here. So we're going to sit there, come back probably down to this area, and then push back up again. We'll see a big wick. So be ready for that type of movement, okay? All righty then. That was it. What else, my friend? What else?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been streaming now for about an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to hit the old great add button, and Pedro and I are going to take, as they say, a 2-minute bio break, and we'll be right back. Pedro, your mic will be off, so use the chat function.
Okay. I'm actually going to use the
bathroom. Right back somewhere around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for putting up with that. Let me get rid of this music here. Sometimes Pedro and I get so wrapped up in what's going on, we forget to take care of the advertisers here.
Yeah. You got to do it. It's good. It's good. TRX is moving. Yeah, they are. TRX. Man, I cannot get this song stuck out of my head, bro. It is like stuck there. You're a sweet, strong.
Whoa, what the hell is that?
All right. Holy moly. This thing is like, wow. Wow, dude. Look at it. Dude, it just went from 22 to 45. It just doubled literally in a day.
Oh, my word.
What happened with TRX? I got to know.
Boys, got to know what happened to TRX. If anyone has any news on it, why it pumped, let us know.
And we did talk about it because we were saying it's going to hit this area. I didn't think it would just double though like that. Wow.
My word.
Wow. That thing.
So glad I owned none of that.
We've been talking about it since it's been down at 10 cents. I mean, we've been talking about it. I mean, late or mid 2022 when it was down at the 6 cent, 7 cent, talking about areas to buy, where to buy. Even if you just take half of your whiskey money and put it in. I mean, here's the thing. You can still do it. Okay, we'll leave that one. I just watched the video of the CEO of United Health being shot. Oh, crazy. Yeah, it's nuts.
Oh, it's out, the video?
Oh, my goodness, dude. Oh, my goodness, dude. I can't believe we can't. No,
where'd you find it? Was it on X?
Strawberry wine. Man, this thing is starting to get going, bro. Ooh, I'm sorry. All them people I told, hey, I need to get up in the mix here.
Oh my God, this is unbelievable.
I know, dude. Look at AVAX, dude. Listen, our boy Chris Alexander is doing nice. He's doing real nice. And just wants Chris to know, look, this area, we're going to buzz through. We're going to buzz through the 69 area, okay, with this area here. So let Chris, if you're watching here, this is what we should see. A little bit of pump up into this level, come back down, and boom. Next level, we should see about the 100 area. All right, so that's that 109 to the 119 area as this thing starts to catch legs and get going with AVAX. So AVAX is looking sexy. Woo! Playing hot to trot here. You know what's so funny? Speaking about TRX again, and going back to TRX, dude, did you see Justin's son? I sent you the banana thing. Did you see that?
I don't remember what you're referring to.
So there was Justin's son bought literally an art piece.
Oh, the banana that Sotheby's. Yes.
Yeah, and it was a crypto guy. Nobody knew who it was. And you even saw the girl who was actually bidding it, right? She's like, like such a degen, like why are you even in this place, right? And he's sitting there just saying, yeah, more and more and more. And then, like, finally, like the last one, he's like, and this is, I think it was like $100 million. How much was it? Somebody look up how much was the banana on wall or banana on painting was. That he bought it for X amount of money. Like, but what was so funny is then a couple days later, he gets the piece. And then, yeah, bro, let's not show that. Please do not show that. Because like the algorithm's working for us right now. And I mean that in love. Okay? Like I know look, do not show that. okay, and love. And I say this because right now we're doing good and we capitalize on what we have right now. We can talk about it later if we get people to come back. DGB, update Pedro if you got time. We'll do so, sir.
Did you ever get to Steam X for Kaching?
No. Shoot. Dude, we got to. All right, but I want to throw this out here real quick for our friend, Mr. Alexander. Do not sell. Okay, we traded through this area. We put in, and this is key. This is a low. This is a high. This is a higher low. So we should get another higher high. Okay? Mr. Alexander. Boom. If you're paying attention, make sure you get ready. Now, if you want to sell up in it, mind you, he bought this baby down at these lower levels here, right? Of that $9. So that's a nice little, and he put in, he said, a pretty good chunk of change on AVAX. So I'm hoping that this thing turns into something. It should turn in. And we could potentially, I would sit there and say, at this mark here, go and take a good profit, right? If it continues up, great, right? But it just all depends on what you want to do with it. But yeah, I'm happy. All right, let's check out what is this here? What's going on? Sweet. Oh, Trade Station. The Trade Station people, they're so rude, bro. I used to use them as a trading platform. I love their trading platform. I hated the rudeness of the people. Couldn't stand them. As I literally changed because I couldn't handle the rudeness of them. Anyways, all right, so let's check out what was the Steam train or something like that.
Steam X. I sent you the link. That CoinGecko chart or Gecko terminal chart is the correct one for it. Wait till you see this chart.
That's sweet.
No, it's not Stream. It's only available on Gecko terminal. You can't find it anywhere else.
And a glass of brandy. Oh, don't tell me it's one. Oh, bro, look at that.
Yeah, he was telling us about that last week. Kaching's been telling us about that for a while.
Yeah. Look at that. Okay. And what's the market liquidity? Boom. Nice, dude. Market cap $4 billion, dude. Is that correct? 4 billion? Now, I want people to understand.
Wait, that can't be right with a liquidity of only 384,000.
It could. I mean,
No, that's a disparity.
yeah. All the time. Yeah.
Gunman's gun even jammed too. See, and he had no security. What an idiot! Runs a multi-billion-dollar company, doesn't have a body man. Unbelievable.
Sometimes, man, it's just the way it rolls with these guys. They think they're invincible. Listen, I'll put it like this. I have a friend of mine who literally used to bodyguard Zuckerberg, right? And I'm not joking when I say this. This man, he's in good shape. He's a bodyguard. He works for a major top firm. Got all the permits, everything like that. He's a killer, right? He could basically be a merc if he wanted to. And literally, when Zuckerberg used to get out and run and get ready and everything, bro, you don't understand. Zuckerberg used to run like 10 miles, 15 miles with a 3-minute pace, 4-minute pace. Like they used to have to sit there and low key to ride bikes with guns or whatever. Like they couldn't keep up with them. And then he would go from there into his gym and he would bust out like 80 pull-ups, 100 pull-ups at a time, bro. He was ridiculous. It was like he wasn't even human. The amount of his agility and everything was just ridiculous. So I always think to myself, man, if there's a group of people I do not want to go after, it would definitely be like the elite people. So like, yeah, right. Like mental note, don't start anything with these guys. Yeah, I'll just be friends with them and be like, all right, cool, dude. I don't need you to chop my head off here real quick. I need it. You're talking crazy ability that these guys have. So, all right, boom. Let's pull in here real quick. And this is going to go into, come on, brain, think for me.
He says correct market cap is around 28 million.
Okay, so then
when these things sometimes get going, they get it messed up because they don't have the number of tokens allocated, right? It's probably doing the based on every token that could be minted or something like that, but not. Lucifer says he's an alien. I sent him.
Well, if you're not from Earth, and I don't think the angels are from Earth, of course, he's an alien. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just kind of makes sense.
That was the wrong button, but just so you know.
I was about to be like, dang, bro, what just happened, dude?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Bro. All right, cool, man. There you go, my people.
Was this the thing I had for Troublesome and Kaching? They are the guitar players in the group.
A little. All right.
You're giving me a flashback.
Yeah, get the headbang if we all start head. If our crowd in the crowd could headbang.
Thank you everyone watching us on both YouTube and Rumble.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of new people in the house here today. My name is Tom, also known as Striking here in the digital media universe. The man sharing the screen with me is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Thank you to everyone that's watching today. We really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. We do a daily talk show about crypto. And sometimes we do an evening space lounge version also. Yeah. Our channel also has other shows on it. The Crypto Swamp Creatures is two Washington, D.C. talking head guys that wear suits and ties talking about the nexus of crypto and Washington, D.C. In politics and all that type of stuff. And those two guys regularly appear on Fox News and News Nation and that type of stuff. We've got all sorts of stuff going on here. Make sure you subscribe and come back.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's check this out here real quick. At least, I don't know if this is the correct charting, but this big push-up, I'm looking at it as it kind of coming back to this level here. Primarily because, one, it kind of shot up here without any real retracements down. So the next area that I would expect for it to come back and pull back to is going to be this level right here, right? So unfortunately, like when I'm looking at that, like it'd be a different story if I saw it kind of down in this area. We could play that, but there's nothing there to support as price is retracing back down. So you do have potentially a couple areas that you could see the market potentially kind of hold off. One is going to be the moving averages, right? I talk about that all the time, right? So we got that 8-period moving average, and then we got the 50-period moving average sitting here, and this is going to be the previous highs. Remember, supply that was once supply can become demand, right? And so these are just some of the areas I want you guys to be paying attention to as it pulls back down, all right, Kaching? I would hate for you to, see it. Now, it could potentially keep running here, right? But this big push up here is a pretty good push up. So be mindful of what is actually happening. You got good volume coming in, which is looking hot to trot, which is really good. And it's supported. But again, people are going to take profits here. So when they start to take profits, where it's going to come back down to, you got two spots. You got one, the spot right here, right? It's going to be that 0.41 area. And then below that, you've got the 0.32 area. All right, that's it in a nutshell for that, baby. Rock on, yeah! Anyways, all right, enough with my antics over here. Justin, what's up? And the only good Justin. Oh, that's awesome. Crypto Swamp, what's up? What's up? Crypto Swamp Creatures and the only good Justin. There we go. I love it, man. I love it. What's up? No, what's that? Nasim? I can't see that. What is good crypto trading platform? That's a good question. We had somebody ask us what a good crypto trading platform is here real quick. And was it No Slimes? Make sure you let me know. I don't want to mess
No
with the
Slimes.
pronunciation. No Slimes. All right.
Or maybe it's No Slimes.
Or No Slimes. So that'd be BitFi is what we use in our area here. Down at the below area over here, we have a QR code that you can actually go through. and you can actually sign up for it, and it helps us out, honestly. So when I give you guys good trading stuff to go look at, where to get in, how to get in on these trades, this will be an area for you guys to be able to follow through on, and it'll be pretty dopey dope. Yeah, baby.
Got to pitch our show sponsor, BidFi. There's a link in the body in the YouTube video with our referral code on it. If you sign up, you get 100 free USDT to trade with and all bunch of rewards. And we're going to have we have another campaign coming up too with them that I'll go over hopefully tomorrow or something like that.
Also, I want to throw this out here real quick. So many of you guys that are watching us right now, just so you know, we do this daily, basically between times of 12 to 3. We range between that. We typically have a 2 to 3 hour show where we talk about everything that's happening in crypto, as well as just entertaining. What do we call it, Tom?
Edutainment.
So that'd be edutainment. We basically also do a lot of movie quotes, Adam Sandler, you name it, like just old stuff, Belushi Brothers. I'm trying to think. It ranges from like
the price is wrong, bitch.
So and just little things like that, we're always having
Jesus, she's a man.
Chris Tucker. So if you like that type of
can't stuff, those.
You guys got to come through and hang out. It's fun, good times.
And for all of you guys watching on Rumble, got a good crowd over there today.
We did.
We're still kind of learning the Rumble platform, learning the metrics and how everything works over there. Didn't have it figured out quite right, but hopefully getting it now, so we understand how you guys watch. A lot of people watch on their smart TVs on Rumble, so they don't necessarily participate in the conversation. But if you have the opportunity to do so, please join us in Rumble and join the conversation. We really enjoy interacting with people on different platforms. I've got a great comment machine here that usually merges them all together, so it looks like one big discussion. So join us, whatever the platform it is you're watching us on, in the discussions.
Absolutely. So let's jump back here real quick too. So what's the next thing you wanted to pull up for news wise?
Oh, I'm out of them. My brain, Pedro, is absolutely shot from the past 5 days of traveling, being in the mountains. I forgot, Pedro, how debilitating being at 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 feet.
Oh
is.
yeah.
And
yes, especially when your body's not ready.
Yeah, no, and
the
striking Ed and I are walking just somewhere, and we're like, you just got to go up a few steps. And I tend to take stairs 2 at a time, just run up them. And I did like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got to the top, and I'm like, feed me oxygen. And I've forgotten about that. And I used to go skiing in the West all the time when I was younger. And I did get altitude sickness a few times when I was younger. And then as I got older, it went away. But this past week, I was like, oh, man, this stuff is mind-bending. Yeah, Crypto Mike says Gatorade. Yeah, I needed lots of it. Extreme Car Care in the house. Thanks for joining us from Manchester. Really appreciate joining the...
Hello, Manchester.
For all you new people, Extreme Car Care is coming to us from Manchester. If you're in Manchester and watching the show, contact this guy to get your car all fixed up.
If you're in the Manchester area, hello, doctor.
Hello there.
Hello, doctor. How are you? No, I messed up. All right, here's one thing for you. Fed Chair Jerome Powell said Bitcoin is a competitor with gold, not the U.S. dollar. I would agree.
I can't even fathom that he used those words, that his lips made them said Bitcoin.
I know. He actually knows the word. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it as a derogatory. He's like, oh, Bitcoin. I thought he used it more as an explicitive, right? Versus an actual real term. Oh, yeah,
Pedro, I only got a few minutes left here. We're going to have to go at the top of the hour here.
All right, we'll make this out right here. Just in, the New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and this is from Watcher Guru, says, remember, y'all laughed at me when I first got my Bitcoin? As he's shaking his head, doing the bob, like, what? Say something. What? What are you talking about, Willis? What? Who's laughing now? That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh, I love it, dude. And here's the thing. We got to be careful as crypto guys. Like, we just got to get people that, I don't say much to people. I don't say I told you so. Look, all I say to people is, look, it's still not too late. If you knew in 30 years, and this is how I always say, like, if let's say we're at the time that the S&P 500 is sitting at $200, $300, okay? When, let's say, Ronald Reagan came to office, okay? And we're talking almost 40 plus years ago. And you knew in 40 plus years, it was going to be at $6,000, talking S&P 500. Would you not get in? You're like, dude.
Darn tootin'.
Like, yeah, dude, let me get in. Like, we're talking that's a 20, 30X, right? Well, I'm letting you know, crypto, to all of our new people there, crypto is basically sitting, and to all our veterans out there who people are coming to them now and saying, what do I do? What do I do? Is it too late? You say, no, this is what you use. You say the S&P 500 is sitting at $200 to $300, and in 20 plus years, it's now at or not 20, but in 40 years, it's now sitting at about 6,000. Okay, it's a big jump. Crypto is like the market sitting at $200 to $300. In the next 40 years, it's about to get crazy, and you're going to see crazy gains. Now, granted, it's not like you were in it like with us when we got into it when it was at $10, but anywhere between $1 to $200, you'd be happy to buy the S&P 500, knowing that in 40 years, it's going to be at $6,000. So that's what you need to bring to your people in your life who are asking about Bitcoin, who are asking about what's coming and what is happening. And don't be a total crypto douche. Don't be a douche. Be nice. Okay? Go out there. Talk to them, say, yeah, it's still not too late. Help them set up a central exchange. Explain to them decentralized exchanges. Set them up with crypto.com, right? Dude, we need to get a link with crypto.com so that we can get them into, let's actually work on that like this week or next week. We can sit there and say, hey, look, we're a small show. We want some type of link there for us because you need to get into it so you guys can go through, get some rewards by giving this to, I've given out already 4 of my personal links to people for crypto.com because they need a central exchange, right? Or Coinbase. I also got a Coinbase, right? So I go through and I say, here you guys go. Boom. And then, then they set it up. And then we both know that Coinbase and Crow have their own decentralized system. Once they understand decentralized systems, then you can let them fly out, right? And like little chiclets, like go free fly.
Like little chiclets, he says.
Like little chiclets. That's horrible because chickens don't fly. Bro, oh, this is killing me here. All right, so
ladies and gentlemen, if you're there's a lot of viewers out there. If you're a small token, you need a good not the big AMA places, but a nice good small one with dedicated investors in it. On the bar down here is the DeFi Dojo. In our comment section, there's a link to the DeFi Dojo. They provide AMAs in Telegram, in X Spaces, and even here on this show, they sponsor a segment called the DeFi Dojo video series here of AMAs. And if you were to sign up for a package with them, they also can give you a deal on the KYC from... oh, God, why did that just escape me? You can get cheap KYC from a legit group. I can't remember their name. But anyway, go see JBee over in the DeFi Dojo. They got a good group of people over there, and they always have a good AMAs, whether it's a meme coin or utility coin. They ask the good questions, and they stoke up their crowd to get them to FOMO into your project.
Definitely. Also, over there, Mike Strum. I think that's Mike Strum. Mike Strum. How you doing, brother? You wrote, trying to wrap my head around all this. Yeah, I am new to crypto. Any thoughts on the Tangem wallet? What are your thoughts on, I don't know about Tangem.
I don't know anything about that wallet.
All right. So I don't know anything about that, but what I would suggest, first understanding, I want you to go to YouTube. We need to put together like a YouTube thing for people, especially new people. What you want to learn about is blockchain. Get about an hour of blockchain underneath your belt of just like, what is blockchain? Then from there, what you want to look at is
there's 80,000 videos about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that wallet has 80,000 videos too.
Yeah, just go through, look and type in what is blockchain. Then from there, you're going to sit there and go, oh, it's a ledger system. And then what was built on top of many blockchains are cryptocurrencies. So you're going to say, what is a cryptocurrency and its relationship to blockchain? Then from there, what you're going to do, you're going to see how that works. Then I want you to look at a thing called central exchange, crypto central exchange, and then crypto DeFi or decentralized exchanges. You'll watch some videos on that. You'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Then you'll sit there and say, all right, what are different types of cryptocurrencies? And then it's going to give you, and this is all the stuff. You know what I'm going to do, bro? Listen, guys, we have a Telegram.
We have a few minutes left here, so.
Yeah, and I'll make this real quick. If you go down into our comment section, you'll see that we have a Telegram group there. I want you guys to sign in that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together probably like 10 videos, like 10-minute videos for you guys to go through. And so you can learn and sit there. And I'm going to actually pin that to our top stuff over in the group. And then from there, give me some time today. You know, probably by the end of the day, I'll have it up there. But go through and start watching that stuff.
10-minute videos about all this stuff today?
Yeah. I mean, it can't be that hard. I mean, and then if you guys want to branch off and do your own, get creative and understand, okay, what's this? What's this? You can do it by yourself. But I'll put that together and then send that to you guys and have fun there. But it's really important to me that Mike Strum over there, over at Rumble, look, I want you to make sure, be careful there. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Coinbase versus a wallet, or is it wise to use both? I would use Coinbase first because Coinbase is a centralized wallet that I know about. I've never heard of the other one, but I'm not saying that it's not a good wallet. I just don't know about it. And so because I don't know about it, I can't give you it, but I do know about Coinbase, and Coinbase is a good system to start with. And I'll go through and I'll learn about Tangem. And see if see what it's about. So that's in a nutshell. All right, good to have every one of you. Thank you for coming in, bud. Really appreciate you, Mike Strum. Really do, man. And please hit the subscribe button, follow button, and notify. So when we go live, many of our new followers today that we had over on YouTube, please hit the like, subscribe, and notifications. So when we go live, you guys can jump on. You can see me doing TA on a lot of the projects. As we start to progress into this bull run, you're going to want TA because we're going to shoot up, then come back down. Shoot up and then come back down. And these areas are areas where you're going to be able to buy. So it's important for you to come, be able to go over a lot of these projects. Awesome, brother. Yes, definitely. Glad to have you, Mike. Appreciate you over there on Rumble. And to all our new viewers, thanks for coming in. We appreciate all you guys. Hopefully,
Mike, share our show with your friends over on Rumble. We're trying to build up our crowd over there. We really appreciate it. Rumble does us a solid because you can earn money faster on Rumble than other platforms, so we like it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing the outro music play. That means we got a minute and 47 seconds left to get the message out. Thanks to everyone for joining us today. Pedro gives great advice about this type of stuff because we're here to teach you about this stuff so you can make your own decisions. And we always remember that these types of things are for entertainment purposes only, but really it's for education. It's educate so you can make your own decisions with your own money. And Pedro gives examples on how to do that. And I give sly and slick commentary about it.
I love it, man. You're awesome. You're so freaking awesome.
That's as they say, that's my role.
Nah, man, you bring a lot of... We argue back and forth all the time. And that's the other part about our show. Me and Tom argue. And he has different views. I have different views. And we come together. And I think that's what part of this world is missing. Is to have different views. And still come together and agree with one each other that we care about things, right? And maybe there's different ways of caring and agreeing with certain things.
All right, everybody, that's all. Crypto Mike gets the last comment of the day. Says later, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.